Commitment 2025 coverage now. In-person early voting begins tomorrow ahead of the April 1st election.
And on your ballot, you will see a referendum question about the state's voter ID law. Political Director Matt Smith tonight with a decision you will have to make.
It is a valid ID.
Just hours from the start of in-person early voting,
there are documents that you can fill out.
A debate about the state's voter ID law and the proposed constitutional amendment appearing on the April 1st ballot.
I've been advocating that we have this.
The ballot question essentially asks whether to enshrine the state's current law requiring a photo ID to vote into the state constitution. It asks, should part of the Constitution be created to require that voters present valid photographic identification verifying their identity in order to vote in any election, subject to exemptions which may be established by law?
I think that the majority party is afraid of what happens if we get into the majority and if we decide that existing law needs to be amended or changed or overturned entirely.
Trying to take us away from the hyper-partisan issues that the courts tend to eject into it. The legislature should be the one that makes these decisions instead of the courts.
Whether to answer yes or no has become political and a key part of the race for state Supreme Court. Republicans who are pushing a yes vote fear if liberals maintain control of the court and Susan Crawford wins, Democrats may attempt to overturn or loosen the law. Crawford, who's previously opposed the law in our debate last week, not saying how she'll vote.
I just don't think it's appropriate for a judge to weigh in and try to influence voters on something like that.
Brad Schimmel, the conservative.
I'm going to vote yes, okay? Now, voter integrity laws are critically important.
Republicans say even if the constitutional amendment passes, they'll still be able to make changes to the law, like expanding what type of ID can be used. In-person early voting across the state begins tomorrow. In Milwaukee, I'm Matt Smith, WISN 12 News.
Matt and Jaron Jordan moderated the Supreme Court debate, the only one between these two candidates before the election. You can watch the hour-long conversation right now on the 12 News mobile app.